The motel sat like a blister on the edge of the desert, its vacancy light always flickering even when no rooms were open. When Mara checked in just after dusk, the clerk didn't look up, only slid the key across the counter with a faint grunt. The air inside reeked of ammonia and stale nicotine, sharp enough to sting the back of her throat. Room 11 was located at the far corner, its door warped, shutting only after she yanked it hard. Inside, the wallpaper slumped, heavy with time and heat. The mirror bolted above the dresser leaned slightly, reflecting warped shadows even when all the bulbs were on. She should have turned back to the highway, but the thin line between fatigue and anxiety kept her from the road that night. She tried to sleep early but found herself counting the seconds between cracking sounds in the walls, drywood groans, or perhaps the footsteps of beetles crawling beneath the flaking wallpaper. Then came the tapping, delicate, precise, like a fingernail against glass. It came from the direction of the closet, not the window. Freezing under the motel's inadequate coverlet, Mara turned her face toward the sound, staring at the mirrored closet door opposite the bed. The room dipped into a strange silence, a hollow void that seemed to press into her ears. Just as her body edged toward sleep again, the tapping resumed, this time faster, like something had grown impatient. In the morning, she found nothing inside the closet but a dusty ironing board and a scattering of clothes hangers. She chalked it up to nerves or perhaps a draft. At the diner next door, the waitress paused when Mara mentioned the motel. "You're staying in 11?" she asked, her hand stilling mid-pour. "That's one of the older rooms." Her mouth closed like she'd bitten her words back. Mara returned to the room anyway, pulling the curtains shut tight. But she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched, not from the window but within the room itself, as though the stale air held someone else's breath, just behind her shoulder. That night, the mirror was different. A fogging occurred not from steam or condensation, but as though breath had touched it from the inside. Uneven, human-shaped impressions bloomed against the glass, low down near the frame, as if someone had been crouching. She scraped her nail across it, finding the surface slick despite the dry air. Later, as she moved to switch off the lamp, her reflection hesitated a blink too long. It wasn't dramatic, just enough to make her heart knock against her ribs. She tested it, leaning forward and pulling back. Her shadow mimicked her, but there was a drag to it, like it swam through thicker air. Sleep came sporadically. Mara awoke multiple times, each with the static charge of a forgotten scream lingering in her throat. Around 3:27 a.m., the closet door creaked open on its own. She hadn't heard movement, just the hinge yielding. Pale yellow light from the street lamp bled between the curtains, illuminating nothing inside but the same slumped ironing board. But she couldn't look away. A shape seemed to unfold in the doorway, a long, narrow silhouette, stitched to the shadows. She blinked and it vanished, but the open closet door remained. Her muscles locked with indecision. She wanted to run, to scream, to turn every light on and smash the mirror. By the time the sun rose again, Mara was already packed. But the door refused to open. The handle turned, but nothing moved, as if the wood had swollen shut despite the dry air. She beat her fists against it, called for help, but the walls caught her voice and swallowed it. Her cell phone had full signal but wouldn't dial out. Instead, the screen flickered with half-formed numbers that changed each time she tried. When she finally turned back toward the room, she noticed the mirror had fallen, yet the glass wasn't shattered. The reflection showed the room from a different angle, one where she wasn't present, but something else stood directly behind the dresser. The final straw came when she stepped into the bathroom and saw writing, not fogged on the mirror but etched scarred deep into the silver backing from behind the glass. "Stay inside until you see yourself leave." Shaking, she backed out, eyes glued to her reflection, which stared forward, blank as ever. But then it blinked. Not her, but it. The reflection blinked first. As her hand automatically reached for the doorknob behind her, a cold palm closed over it from the other side.